Oh, right. Yeah, this popped up. I haven't actually tapped into Bill Burr's world for a long time, but this popped up and I thought, yeah, because the title is Bill Burr on people being mad that he went on The View. But is it that I watched Anthony Cumia's thing about it, and obviously you can guess what Anthony Cumia had to say, but um, I don't know whether it's necessarily because Norm went on The View, and people love Norm's appearance on The View. So I don't know whether it's necessarily that because he went. But let's see what Bill Burr has to say anyway. Because like I say, I listened to Anthony's um, sum up of the whole thing. So I kind of he was talking about Elon, billionaires polluting the planet, and they're gonna leave, that type of thing. But yeah, that's right.
So I was checking my account. So when I do these shows, they ask me to share clips. So one of the people asked me to share a clip was The View, right? So I go to share the clip and I go into the comments section like I always do, and I read until the first negative comment. And oh my God, the amount of fucking people like, oh my God, what are you doing on The View? And so many people were saying that I sold out because I went on The View and everything. And I was laughing, going, I kind of created that with all the misogynistic shit I'd been saying over the years, that was, an element of my fucking fan base. And to the point, like they can't even handle that I went on a show because it was hosted all by women. I guess because they have
Bill, there's not that all your fans are going, oh, it's women. It's like, yeah, no. I think it was more the smooching up to people that people see as kind of the establishment. That's more what it is. Not that people in the comments, you saw it, it was like woke Bill sucks. Who's more embarrassing, Bill or Howard Stern? So it got nothing to do with the fact that it's hosted all by women. Everyone knows that that show sucks. Do you know what I mean? But nobody watches that. I know that. I'm not even from that country, but I know that no one in America watches The View. You go on the comments of every View clip, and it's like, how is the only View clip that any American has ever asked me to watch was Norm's, and it's because he basically was just disrupting the whole norm.
they lean left liberal, and then they have like the one conservative person. I guess I don't know. I didn't see that the day I was on. I don't watch the fucking View, but I love that I did the View, and the View was my idea because I thought it would be funny if I went on there, and I thought something was going to happen. Like someone there wasn't going to. I don't know. Be into what I was saying, and then everyone was just really nice, and I had a great time, which is, kind of what I'm finding in life. All of this shit that like I had this big wall up against when I finally just let the wall come down. It's like, oh, that was all in my head. I had a great time on The View, and I also got to thank Joy Behar because I don't know how to talk around. I got to talk around this. So I saw her one time. Somebody was coming at her, trying to get, the better of her comedically and was really being disrespectful. And she fucking barely flinched and absolutely mopped the floor with this dude. And it was just me, her, and the other dude. And I was just sitting there with my jaw on the ground.
And this is what Anthony was saying. It's like a big part of Bill's thing is white women. Now you're saying you love the liberal white woman when your whole stand up act is liberal white women are the worst.
It was one of the great trashings because it was so effortless and dismissive. And the other, it was almost like the big brother with like the hand on your forehead as you're swinging and you can't reach him. She was doing that to this dude. And this is the best part. She like when I told her about it, she didn't even remember doing it. And I remember after I saw her doing it and I was so blown away by her skill set and she didn't let this guy was trying to piss her off. She didn't take any of the bait and just like I mean, she could have been like, doing her taxes and handled this guy. This is how good she was. And she just fucking mopped the floor with the guy. And then I thought about it afterwards and I thought about when she came up and stand up and what it must have been like back then and all the shit she had to go through, that this idiot coming up to her, that's why it was such an easy day for her. But anyway, so anyway, all of those comments of people just saying all of this shit, they love to bring up Patrice. What Patrice with all of these people who never met Patrice and didn't think, didn't know him, know somehow what he would be thinking. If Patrice came back, he would say this and say, really? No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. If he came back, we would hug each other and say how much we missed each other. That's what would be happening. He wouldn't be coming back to talk about my appearance on The View. You fucking moron. But this is something that I have learned. Okay.
I really don't think that Patrice coming back would hug any of. Like, I saw a Jim Norton short where, because Jim Norton gets that to what would Patrice be? What would Patrice say about this, Jim? And he's like, do you know how much Patrice would love the fact that he's been dead for over a decade, and I still get people are still terrorizing me with his memory in this, like in my modern life. He's like, do you know how much joy that would bring Patrice that he's ruining my life? Yeah.
Losers don't want you to succeed. Angry people don't want you to get happy. And I know a fat guy that lost weight, and fat people fucking DM'd him and said he sold out. So people don't want you to they want you to stay not even where you are, they want you to stay where they are. All right? And this is the thing. The same fucking people that want you to stay where they are, if they start moving on, they're not taking you with them. So part of evolving is there's going to be a certain percentage of people that used to like you the way that you were, and they're going to fucking try to act like you, trying to improve yourself or doing something different or getting outside your comfort zone is somehow like this bad fucking thing. And I can tell you this as an old guy, to you younger people, like it's a crock of shit. And so when people come at you like that, that just means you're doing something good, or at least you're trying, you know? You're trying to do something, you're trying to change for the fucking better. And you have to understand, with people like that, there's no winning. There's no winning with them, you know? Like if you become successful, there's the combination of, hey, don't fucking forget where you fucking came from. And then there's simultaneously, dude, you got money now. You don't fucking, it's like, all right, so what am I? Then what am I? I'm basically whatever you need me to be to fit your fucking argument. And at that point, you just walk away. You put your eyebrows up, you purse your lips. This is the way white people do it, right? You put your eyebrows up, purse your lip, you kind of nod, and then you just walk out of the room. And it's as simple as that. You just walk away and you continue going in the direction, knowing that you're moving in a more positive direction because of that person you just talked to having a problem with it. It's like, oh, I must be doing something right.
I have to say that was a terrible explanation. That you might be moving into a more accepted world, better in terms of these, but you're not moving into a better world, because it's like, actually, this what you're doing now is the future. Not talking to Joy Behar. Do you know what I mean? Like, people on the View, like, that is like one thing you can easily gauge from the American public, is that they don't like the View, and it's not true that people. It's because people see Bill as becoming this, like, I will even bring up a Patrice thing. Who was the rapper? I remember listening to that. I don't know whether I reacted to it, but I remember listening to it. Who was the rapper that come on the show? And Patrice was asking him something, and the rapper went into a very professional, I love everybody and everybody's my friend, and that was back then, and I don't want to. And he's like, Patrice is like, why can't people just be real and be like, he's like, why do they have to, everything have to be like so professional? And yeah, Patrice actually gets quite depressed about it. But that's what I think people more see Bill Burr as. He's moving into the safe. That's what it is. It's not that you're moving into a better world. It's that you're moving into a safer world. Like take someone like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle saw himself moving, and he says that himself that he's an outsider. Part of being a comedian is that you're an outsider, looking in on everything and picking things out. You can't be an outsider when you're the most famous person, and that's uh, one of the reasons Dave Chappelle removed himself from that thing. And now, like Dave Chappelle does, he just goes round comedy clubs and gets up on stage. And um, I've listened to a Dave Chappelle set that he just bowled into a club and done like 3.5 hours on stage, and it was the greatest thing I've ever heard. He's in front of about 10 people that just happened to be in this comedy club that night, and they got the best night of their life with the fact. I think he's actually over here as well in it. He might actually be in the UK, and he's just literally wandered into a club and got up on stage and does 3.5 hours off the top of it, like, and it's great. It's so good. He's so good, and yeah, that's what I think people have more. Not that the fact that the View is hosted by all women. People got to get over. This is what the left has to get over. Is that not everybody that criticizes a show with a black person is angry that there's a black person on the TV. It's like you can't just reduce people's things to that. And I know, like I said, I'm not someone who's tapped into Bill Burr as well, but I know what people say about Bill Burr. And Bill is like, I can't, like, people say he's not funny and they don't like him for it. Like, he still does make me laugh. Like, I've watched clips of his stand up. I watched the Paper Tiger one. That was probably the last one, but that was funny. Like, I didn't think he hasn't lost that, but it's that you're moving into that safe world, that Holly. I mean, you have. It's not that you're moving into it. You have moved into it. You was in Star Wars. It's like everyone knows the weight that comes with the Star Wars once you sign into that. Again, like Patrice said about Kevin Hart, is like, what has Kevin Hart done to get to that next level? What has he sacrificed, or what has he like? He's like, because there's no reason Kevin Hart should be there and other people aren't. Like, who's, yeah. He's like, what do you have to do to get to that next level of fame? But yeah, yeah, to just say that people didn't like him, go, why didn't they have a problem with Norm then? Like I say, Norm's View appearance is the greatest of all time. He was great on it. He was perfect on it, and that's what I think people always like. There isn't a Norm and there isn't a Patrice, and people hold people like Bill Burr in that kind of thing. And when they see him smooching around in the celebrity world, is, but yeah, yeah, I didn't like his spiel either about people that just don't like you bettering yourself. It's, I don't necessarily know if that's better. Like I say, it's safer, but why? How is gonna going on the View and talking to Joy Behar, who he seemed to be very fond of? How is that bettering you and bettering? How is that making you any better of a person because you spoke? Well, he said that the people that are angry about it, it's like sometimes you people that it's like when they say, "Yeah, you're just haters." People or anyone that criticizes you is jealous of you. It's like no. Sometimes people actually like can give can give you good things to change about yourself if you just don't see yourself as like, but actually listen to people. But yeah, that spiel of when people, how I don't see how that's better in you, and definitely not as a comedian and an edgy comedian. And it's like that's the other thing. It's you go on about white women. but then you go on a, I had a lovely time. And it's not to say that you're supposed to go on there and punch him in the face, or, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. But I do think that's one of the people just hate to see you better in yourself. It's not that people really are fans of you, and they see where you're heading better than you do. What's the saying? The observer sees more of the game. And it's so true. It's like people know where you're heading, Bill. You're heading to basically becoming Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is one of the most badass stand up comedians that has made kids' movies for the majority of his career. Like, Eddie Murphy's two stand ups are great. Best stand ups of all time, especially the first one. But then, yeah, he decided to go into the world, which is fair enough. It's not that nothing's wrong with you, but then don't try and explain people's views on you that they just don't like it because it's all women. It's like, no, see what you're doing to yourself. You're putting yourself in there, and it's like I say, it's what Dave Chappelle removed himself from. Because I do think that's so true. You, to be fair, you can't be an artist and be on the inside. Like, part of being an artist is being the outsider and observing. Like, yeah. But yeah, enough waffling. That's the reaction. Sweet.